that's been a much longer run than they would have wanted. Now, the current points total is nearly 300 with points between the both of them. This one could mean 80 shifted either way. Top Blokes desperately need this to either secure or start making their way towards that second spot, or they might get dragged into the fight to get in top 6. This is so crucial to both teams.
Yeah, and especially for Top Blokes, given how badly they played yesterday, and I will say badly because they've set a really, really high standard for themselves. They've won a regional this split, and they've, had numerous deep runs, really cemented themselves as a top 3 team at times. But yesterday, they struggled against Dignitas. Dignitas totally threw away a sweep and allowed Top Blokes back into that series. And then, like I said, I think Top Blokes are very fortunate not to run into one of their nemesis giants in that lower bracket. Singularity took them out for them. But now they've got a clean slate. They've had a night's sleep. They've got a chance from a 0-0 in a best of 7 against Vitality. They've seen this before. They've just got to really find a way to produce their best kind of play, and maybe they can make this happen.
I'm glad that you brought up Giants there, because they're probably the biggest losers of this match happening. One of the teams that is in direct competition against them is going to go further and guarantee themselves a top 4. Like, that's not anything good for them. But right now, I think they would much prefer it to be Vitality that win this. They can keep Top Blokes near them. Good clear there from Alpha. Became really the central star yesterday of the offense. He looks to do it yet again. Goes for the negative angle shot. And I tell you what, he wasn't half close.
Yeah, that was beautiful from Alpha. Really good try there off the back wall. Looking in great form this weekend. Gotta say as well, I'm loving the Fennec K-Dop. K-Dop in the very same tournament where Shawset popularized the Fennec, DreamHack Valencia 2019. K-Dop is actually scrimming in the Fennec for that tournament, and he was scoring so many goals, but he thought to himself, you know what? I'm just going to play the Octane. It's what I'm used to. I'm not going to bring out the new car. Oh my goodness, Cassio's just hit the bar there. Not sure how that has gone through Vitality's defense. Top Blokes almost snatched a lead out of nowhere there. Vitality have, for the most part here, had pretty good control over what Top Blokes are trying to do.
We did see yesterday, K-Dop, when he was on the losing end of his series, he was very, very angry with the whole thing. And you'd expect, someone that has had the success he's had as Flame looks to try and take the shot, and Alpha keeps it away. You'd expect him to just, be a bit happier. Oh, it's just a loss. I've already won myself 3 World Championships. No, that drive is still the same that has always been from him. He always wants to win. He never accepts anything else. However, he might be forced to accept a goal going against him. Instead, he's now on the breakaway. Good block from Flame.
Uh-oh.
And a miss from Cassio, actually. Alpha sets up for Fairy Peak. Wants to go for the double tap. There's a lot of work to do, but Fairy Peak was almost capable of doing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. K-Dop just had no faith in Fairy Peak hitting that double. He was flying up for the same rebound, so not much trust in each other in offense from Vitality. A couple of double commits already. But yeah, it was also lackluster defense from Top Blokes in the first place. Cassio just completely missing a ball that was barely moving. They can't afford to make those mistakes here. They need to just make solid contact in defense and start hitting the target in offense.
Drop down, Flame. Trying to go for a delayed shot, but K-Dop tracks it the whole way back. Alpha lays off to Fairy, but the heavy touch just guides it away from the Frenchman. Now back down for K-Dop! And the French connection is strong enough.
Just too good. Vitality first in the scene. As the ball centers, Fairy Peak chips it up into the ceiling. And K-Dot with a very nice finish there. Slots it in the top corner. That's a very instructional pass there from Fairy, though. A good way to center the ball quickly, just chipping it up into that ceiling. If he tries a more slow lob, then obviously the defense will have more time to react to it. Everybody take notes. You want to be centering the ball just like Fairy did there. Really helps out your team to be first on the scene.
Oh, that's another miss. Top Blokes. Wow. Looking very, very... I'm going to steal what Cole said earlier on, delicate at the moment as Alpha comes in to make it 2.
Oh, dear.
And Top Blokes, we saw this yesterday. They have got to figure this one out.
Oh, my. The positioning here is just diabolical from Cassio. You can see Flame and Archie in the corner in front of him, and he drives forward to join them. They had a little team huddle in the offensive corner. The ball goes into towards the back post. And that just put him in such an awkward position. His positioning was so bad, it looked like he was boost starved, but he actually had full boost there. He was just in such a bad position that it didn't matter how much boost he's got, he still can't get to the ball.
Well, right now, with a minute left, Vitality look unthreatened on their way towards taking the first game of the series. Double commit here. Archie Ended up leaving it for Cassio. Don't know if that was intentional or not. Either way, Cassio was the one that got to it. Now pop up. Alpha still in the air. Wanted to try and get something in the way of Flame. Fairy Peak will clear that. Should be the end of it. Flame wants to get over to Archie. Maybe one last gas. This is where he sent him to overtime yesterday. And he almost found yet another one. Back out once again. Shut down, as always, by an orange car. You already know that the neutral game of Top Blokes is very solid, but they can't afford to follow up mistakes with mistakes, as we will close up game number 1. Team Vitality, they've been here before. They've set the level. They'll be up to Top Blokes to try and match it.
Yeah, it's just nowhere near good enough for Top Blokes. They're playing a bit of Crossbar Simulator and or Crossbar Challenge in offense, and too many whiffs in defense. That's just not acceptable at this level anymore. I mean, it hasn't been for a good while now. And with what we've come to expect from Top Blokes, it's such a shock to see this happening so consistently for them. It was happening yesterday, now it's happened again. And for me, the problem is positioning. They're putting themselves in awkward positions, and then they miss because they can't. Their mechanical ability is not sufficient to make up for the mispositioning. You know, Vitality are a very, very dangerous team, and the speed that they attack that near post is putting a lot of pressure on Top Blokes. Top Blokes don't want to give any space to Vitality at that near post because they know Fairy Peak, K-Dop love to just get in there as quickly as possible. But the solution is not to just stack your whole team there. You got to have more coverage than that. You got to cover the back wall. You got to cover the goal and the infield pass. And Top Blokes have failed to do that in game 1.
And it is a sort of performance that will bring a lot of nerves for Top Blokes fans, because it was a continuation of yesterday. You thought they were on the other side of it. And instead they are right back under pressure. This time Flame with Archie over in the corner. They both collided with one another, but ends up actually speeding up their track back, and they're going to need to, because that is an outstanding shot by Alpha.
Just struck it perfectly, didn't he? Cassio decided to drive forward into the midfield, and he immediately regrets that decision. You got to cover your goal. Vitality's counterattack straight down the line completely leaves them with nowhere to go. That is just a beautiful strike by Alpha. You know, leaning back into it, didn't rush it, just made sure to hit it with the utmost power and accuracy as well. Just, you know, a proper training ground maneuver right there.
It's one of those ones that, to many people, that might not look as impressive as it was. It's incredible. Not only the power, but the accuracy. The one position that the entire team could not get to. Now K-Dop over on the wall. He's going to be by himself. Flame actually downfield. Taps it over to Archie. Looks to set himself up off the backboard. Now through the wall, and absolutely nothing coming through there from Top Blokes. They had a chance for a counterattack, but no real threats ended up coming through. A launched pass back over to Archie. Alpha looking so busy, so active today, but K-Dop's mistouch almost opened the door up for Cassio to try and take his own chance. I feel like that's a sense we're saying a lot here, Johnny. Chances for Top Blokes, none of them taken.
Yeah, just a lot of missed touches and a lot of miscommunication as well. You know, the pass off the backboard there for Archie is not a terrible idea, but you've got to have somebody immediately following that up. And all of their passes in field as well have struggled to connect. It's just been too easy for Vitality to hold on and to prevent Top Blokes from scoring. Because the threats really are not coming in consistently enough. You know, Top Blokes have really got to start passing the ball to a higher level. I mean, yesterday that's something they were doing quite well at the tail end of the series against Dignitas. They started to pass the ball to each other in the final third, and they were actually receiving those passes before the other team could react.
Alpha too far on the wide angle of the ball. Couldn't quite put it back into that opposing side of the field as quickly as he'd have wanted to, but K-Dop and Fairy Peak will at least combine to do exactly that. Off the backboard, Cassio recognizing that he's not under pressure. He's got Archie downfield, but no real angle on the pass. Only 1-0 is the difference, though. And it's not been as much of a calamity this time from Top Blokes. Sure, they've had opportunities, but they haven't given anything up too easy right now. Archie gets over the Fairy Peak. Oh, my. Require the entirety of Team Vitality to keep that one out. Now goes back over to him, but K-Dop will intercept.
Yeah, it was a good idea once again. The passes are being attempted by Top Blokes, but it's this last touch that never really finds its target. And that's a real problem still for them in this match. It's good to see that they're trying to come back for team play here. And that's another good try. Oh my goodness, what a save. Vitality really making Top Blokes work for this one. Top Blokes have, like I said, they've had many chances, but now even after they put a hard shot on target from close range, even that stopped.
K-Dot back into the air. Will drop over the Fairy Peak. Well, that first touch far too heavy. Always difficult to control that when you've got the Batmobile. And for someone with the mechanical mastery that Fairy Peak's got, Cassio has his back turned to the play. You can't do that against K-Dot.
What a play, K-Dot with the flip reset in a 1v1 position. Cassio was waiting to see if he was going to hit it, but really, you just got to go there. K-Dot's just far too good to stand off and try and react to in these positions, especially with the boost that Cassio had. You know, dive in is really the only option he's got. Still, full credit to K-Dot. That's an unbelievable shot. I mean, even a defender with full boost would have struggled. And here comes another one. K-Dot sinks it in. 3-0. Vitality are on another level.
Yeah, we spoke in game one how we thought Top Blokes were doing it to themselves. This one is anything but. Team Vitality are a team with something to prove. As always, they've wanted to be number one. This season, they have not been. And you know it irks them. You know that they want something different. This performance might go a long way to getting some people to believe, maybe even themselves. Got to try and finish this one off. We have already seen from Top Blokes this weekend that, you know, game to game, they tend to shift quite a bit. I don't think we've quite got the pre-jumping Top Blokes that we have got used to seeing when they're at their best.
Yeah, they're just not reading each other as well as we're used to seeing from them, as well as we have seen from them in the past. That's something I would love to see more of from Top Blokes, just those three-man passing plays, and like I said, those pre-jump plays. They've hit several this season already. But at the moment, I mean, it's hard to imagine them landing a pre-jump play. They can hardly even land an infield pass. So just I say that there's one, and it's a bit of a miss from Alpha that's allowed it to come through. But Top Blokes really needed that, even if it isn't a wonder goal. Still, gives them their first, and maybe there's hope in game two yet.
Yeah, if they were going to get it, they needed it very, very soon. And that same line of thought is going to apply to the next two that they've got to get. K-Dot, great kickoff from him. Almost managed to block off Fairy Peak, though. Not quite as happy with that, but still, time ticking away. Bundling challenge there from Flame. Something they have to do. They've got to get that ball out of the corner. It'll be up to Cassio to keep this going. Over to himself off the wall. He'll be unchallenged. Couldn't quite latch onto it. Flame will be by himself up against Fairy Peak in an enviable position. How about we add in Alpha, though? 2v1. Your opponents are Fairy Peak and Alpha. All we can say is good luck.
Yeah, you're probably losing a 1v1 to either of them, and now Fairy Peak teeing the ball up for Alpha to score. That's just not something you can cope with in defense. Top Blokes really prioritizing shadow defense here and giving themselves no chances to save these shots. I mean, at some point, especially when you're up against experts of solo positions, you just have to dive in. You've got to get some kind of pressure on the ball, because if you stand off, you already know Fairy Peak's not going to panic. He's not going to give you the ball for free. He's going to wait until your position is compromised and then put it past you. Or, even better, have Alpha do it for him.
Team Vitality just brushing Top Blokes aside. We tried to, well, I tried to, but didn't seem like anyone else seemed to believe in it, no matter how hard I tried. But this is supposed to be a number 2 versus number 3 matchup in our overall standings for Europe. It doesn't look like it right now. It looks like there is a tier between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, right now, based on this weekend's performances, I mean, Top Blokes have made top 6, but I think that's about as good as they can hope for on their current level that they're displaying to us. Third man positioning has been poor. They've had numerous complete misses on the ball in offense, in defense, just everywhere. They are literally just missing the ball, which is something we are so not used to seeing from them. They made it to the level that they reached in the point standings. They're overall third in the points for RLCS Season X. They've won a regional in this very split. But it's hard to imagine that based on the way they're currently playing, because consistency is completely non-existent. Confidence is out the window, and You need to do so much better than this against Vitality and a Major. Already, Vitality capitalize on an early mistake from Top Blokes. Top Blokes concede possession. Vitality show them how it's done.
Just not good enough from Flame.
No.
Just hits the ceiling, straight back down. I really want to praise Vitality again, but it's been made too easy for them. We know that they can score much more difficult goals than this. We know that they can prize open much more difficult defenses.
Yeah.
This has just been a little bit too sloppy from Top Blokes. And again, that first touch just so far away. They've got to control it. Oh, and a miss from Cassio. Well, we were hoping that yesterday was a bit of a one-off and that their very close attempt at a reverse sweep was going to help them rebound.
Ooh.
Right now, it looks like we are just continuing on at that pace. Drop down there for Cassio. Can't quite reach it in time. Fairy Peak launches his shot, forces a save from Flame. Now it is full pressure for Team Vitality. Flame pops it. He wanted Archie. Archie doesn't have anything left on the field. Here comes Alpha to make it
Wow. Vitality are just far, far too good for Top Blokes at the moment. It's just a very cold defense for Top Blokes here. Second to every ball, getting demoed out of the position. And what a shot by Alpha. Just like last game, top left corner welcomes his strike. And Vitality looking like they're ready to sweep this one. They want to move on to bigger and better things. And right now, there's plenty of that compared to Top Blokes in this tournament. Top Blokes have got to improve. They need something. They need it badly. They need it now.
Goes to Archie. Wants the first time shot. It's well struck off the crossbar. He needs a follow from somebody. Oh, that was so close. But Cassio will give them a lifeline.
Wow, thank goodness for Top Blokes that this had gone in. I mean, if K-Dop saved this, if it hit the post and stayed out, they would have just thought, okay, it's not our day, boys. Wrap it up. Let's just go home. We already are home.
I was going to recall Stumpy and Cole back in here so we could re-award the top play. Because that would have been the new one.
I tell you what, would we be allowed to call it the top play? I guess we'd have to edit out the part where he missed the previous save. Right? Maybe it could be top play.
Look, we've got very good production over here, all right? We can get that done. We can make any player look good.
Just put a little bit of camera shake in there. A few highlights. Oh, Fairy Pig going for some kind of a goal steal here. That would have been a really great goal steal, actually, if he managed to sneak in front of that one, but the defense beat him to it. And Vitality haven't been absolutely 100% clean this game. They're a whole level, maybe two ahead of Top Blokes at the moment, but they want to go further. They want to make that final. They want to get revenge against BDS, or at least give them a challenge. And I think based on what we've seen from Vitality here, it's not been enough from them. They've got to keep it up here. Now the crossbar denies Alpha a goal. Hit up, happy to challenge the back post shot because Top Blokes are looking pretty boost starved at the moment. No clears anywhere to be seen.
That's finally happened. Alpha sets himself up for the pinch. Wow. That might be a little too high. That is the second time he's attempted it this weekend. He's getting closer. We see him go for it a third. I'm calling it right now. It goes in. But Alpha going to go back to what he does best. Air dribble over the top of the entire team. And that has been part of his repertoire that has always been so useful to every team he's been on. Not just for offense, but just to carry them out of defense. It's just, hey, I've got the ball in the air. I'm taking it out my side of the field. I dare you to try and stop me. Back down again. 2 minutes left. Off the backboard. Will they be quick enough this time? They've set themselves up for a double tap, and Cassio is shut down. Again, I think it's just one extra step that they didn't need.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it looked like a great pass to just hit first time. Hits it hard, on target. You already know that's what Vitality would do. They wouldn't mess around with these slow plays when you can launch a shot into the top shelf of the goal. But yeah, Top Blokes' confidence just isn't there to, put these shots hard on net. Now that's one. Oh, what a shot! Cassio steps up huge. Redirect from close range. Will that be the goal that lifts Top Blokes' spirits? I mean, if anything, it should be. They're not going to get any better opportunities than that.
You don't trust yourself to smash it in from the 6-yard box, but you trust yourself to stay there and put that one in. I won't be able to make sense of it. However, it was a phenomenal goal. And it is one that Top Blokes have managed to now get themselves back into this game, 2 each. This is becoming a bit of an MO for them. Start off the series very poorly and then get better and better as we go along. Very Peak That was incredible awareness from K-Dot. Realized that there was a player just off to the side of him. Need to get any touch on it to avoid that to be an actual mental pass there from Fairy Peak. Now the backboard again.
Oh.
That's becoming a target zone for Top Blokes, and it's having a lot of success.
Yeah, they just got to keep smashing that backboard, and I know that's something Top Blokes have loved to do in the past. Just hit the backboard, hit it hard, get an early follow-up from a teammate. You know, you're not going to hit the backboard and then fly up it yourself to intercept it on this level. That's a great pass. Fairy Peak's there early. Archie's managed to match him for it. You know what, Shogun? I think Top Blokes have elevated here. The speed is definitely increased, and so often we've seen this. Just one highlight play can completely change a series momentum, and it's so good that it fell to Casio as well, because I really feel like he was struggling in this matchup. He's been struggling this tournament with consistency, so that is just the ideal outcome for Top Blokes. Got a chance, but they've got to stop Vitality from getting this win. Pinch clear from a couple of teammates has almost got them a counter-attack.
I would call that a successful defensive play by any metric. Still 2 each. Casio's already up, but that is a double commit. They're going to want to try and slow this play down, and this is exactly why, because it's a breakaway. Alpha pass was not good enough, and Archie can take over. They're going to maybe try and give themselves one more shot at this, but I think both teams will take over time. Well, here we go. We're either going to tie up the series, or it's going to be majority job done. 14 Vitality. Backboard Casio.
They need this badly, Shogun. If they lose this, I really don't think there's any hope for them. They've got the 2-goal comeback. They've got a huge pop-off from Casio to get them the equalizer. And they've started to consistently slam the ball towards Vitality's end of the field. This is something we love to see from Top Blokes. They're not so much of a ball control type of team. They just hit it hard, and they don't really mess around. They hit it hard into useful positions. Oh my goodness, a deflection sends the ball to Vitality's crossbar. K-Dop's missed it. Now here comes Archie. He's gonna go high to Casio, and it's gonna be crossbar again. And it's just a slow shot. It needs to be on target there.
Back out to Casio. Wants to infield it to Archie. Shut down immediately though. Vitality's defense, rock solid at the moment. You can't really get much of an infield play against them, but it has left them available for the backboard. Flame needs to try and take it past the entirety of the team, and he's done a good job though. The territory now, Fairy Peak's clear, so much power. And he's going to be able to follow this off the backboard. Both teams just trying to find that one slight mistake. Apart from Alpha. Alpha will always just go for him. He knows who his favorite player is.
Yeah, there's some players who wait for mistakes and the other players who try and force them. Alpha is the latter, and he never has tried to be a passive player. Casio knocks it up for Flame, but maybe a bit too high. So the ideas are good for Top Blokes. They're actually moving into passing lanes, giving each other options. They've just got to improve the accuracy by a small margin, and they'll be right there with Vitality. And that could be it, actually. Fairy Peak's boost armed. It's in! Top Blokes win a game which started off in shambolic fashion. Somehow they've done it. A bit too pedestrian from Alpha in defense, and Fairy Peak couldn't cover it.
Well, we just mentioned how Alpha likes to play it to himself. He went for the pop so he could go for the air dribble, and he's wiped out for it. Great play, great knowledge of who you're up against there from Top Blokes. Because I was looking at that thinking, why have you done this? You've got a passing option over to your right. Instead, 200 IQ coming on in. Give it to Alpha. We know he's going to try and set himself up, but he can't set himself up if he's over in the crowd.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Alpha didn't need to play that, obviously. He could have taken control. He could have kept the ball close to himself for a 50-50. Could have tried to deflect it into the corner. There were many safe options at the end of this game for Alpha. He just didn't pick any of them. But yeah, overall, Top Blokes did improve. I don't think that they were solely to blame for this comeback win. I think Vitality had a bit of a hand in their own defeat there with K-Dop's earlier miss and then Alpha giving away the possession for the last goal. But Top Blokes have made one step in the right direction here. They've improved on their performances earlier in the series. Still a lot of work to be done though. I think both these teams honestly have got many more years to go to, many more steps to climb if they're going to go on to win this tournament.
And again, it's game 3 that Top Blokes seem to just figure it out. I have a wild theory here, Johnny. It's because DFH used to always be our starting map. Maybe Top Blokes, who are veterans of the scene, are just used to that. So they only actually get started in their series when they're on DFH.
Yeah, maybe they don't realize that we've actually played 3 games here. They thought they were still in the warm-up. I mean, that would explain the...
Really like a live button for them.
Somebody tell Top Blokes this game counts. K-Dop's missed. Wow, that's rare. And now Flames missed. I mean, unfortunately, for Top Blokes this weekend, seeing a whiff in defense for them isn't all that unexpected, but anytime K-Dop's shooting in an open net, to see him miss the target is just crazy. He's the most prolific striker looking back over the years since he's played professional Rocket League. Thank goodness for Top Blokes he didn't hit that one on target.
For Vitality, they have gone all in on this offensive press. You can already see their players so far forward. Top Blokes can start nailing those clears. It's going to force that line back, but until then, Team Vitality seem happy just to have that little bit more aggression in their rotation. In comes Alpha, wants to take the net. As always, you're just not really expecting to score from those. You just want the boost. Maybe get a double commit, maybe even get a missed touch. You know, there's not really much that you lose by taking those shots as long as you haven't got it too close to the floor for a half volley. And some of the Top Blokes maybe utilize a little bit more here. Instead, Casio does win that scuffle. Back out to the midfield, which is populated only by blue cars. Into the corner, Archie can't quite clear out Fairy Peak off the bump. Slower paced match here. Both teams had a lot of chaos to start us off. Both teams just calming it down, not looking to make any more mistakes. Saw yesterday, though, from Vitality, this was the exact same playstyle they went for against Team Queso, one that they didn't concede a single goal in. However, Archie could have changed that immediately.
Yeah, that was a much better shot there from Archie. Brought out a great save from Vitality. Yeah, like you mentioned, Vitality might be trying to slow this down on purpose, and they get dunked on in the process. They are known to do this. They like to take 50-50s. They like to play a ground game. But that is the second time now that a Vitality player has been caught trying to slowly move the ball out of the Vitality half. It was Alpha in overtime in the last game. Now, K-Dop to start off this one. Perfect timing on the dunk from Casio. Saw exactly when K-Dop was landing. That's the one moment he can't influence play, but this spouts again! And there was just no easy clear for Top Blokes. Just like that, they've lost their lead, and it didn't take long.
I'm trying to figure out the angle there for Archie. I don't think there's much that he can really do. One thing that sort of speaks to me from his POV is I think he might be actually trying to fake out the clear because he thought he might get dunked.
Yeah, it was tough because, you know, if he's a bit earlier, he can just smash that into the near post and get it to bounce clear. If he's, you know, if he can get around it, or even if the ball hits the post, he could probably just pop it. But because it's so close to the goal, it's very difficult to hit that into the crossbar without own goaling. So really not much Archie can do there.
What a turn
from Flame! And now Casio back to Flame! And I think it's only right that Flame gets the credit for this one, because look at this first touch. Absolutely perfect on the turnaround. And that's against K-Dop and Fairy. They just had no idea Flame was planning to go straight to goal there.
That was slicing there from Flame. Instantly turns. And Vitality weren't ready for it. They thought they were getting their chance to break into the other side of the field. Instead, Flame takes it from them. They've reestablished their lead, but once again, it might lose it incredibly quickly. Fairy Peak looks for the setup. Alpha was moving quite close to him, though. Had to reset. Alpha again with the pop. Looking to just cause a little bit of hassle. And they have got it off the backboard one more time. Here's Fairy Peak. 2 each.
And Vitality just go all in. And there was no reason not to go all in here. K-Dop to Fairy. Casio gets beaten to the punch. It was a bit of a problem there for Top Blokes. It just ended up being boost-starved the key players in that play. Nobody in the way to stop Vitality from scoring. That's a champion's response, though, from Vitality once again. They are not wasting any time. They know that this is a more urgent situation than it was in game number 2, where they were the team with the lead, and they were the team leading in the series as well. Now they're under threat of losing that series lead. You see that they've upped the tempo and upped the urgency.
What has been very strange about this game is that we're not seeing many goals created by outplays. It has been a lot of get the other team the ball, wait for them to try and play it, and we'll get it off them by insta-challenging. And it has been successful for both of them so far. This one off the backboard. Here's Alpha to try and make it 3-2. Yep. And he has done exactly that.
Just too fast. Alpha 54 off K-Dop's pass. You know, this is what I've been wanting to see more from Top Blokes, because they've had a wide open backboard to aim for a lot of the series. They've even hit a wide open backboard several times, but there's just never anybody up quick enough, and that's how you do it. Alpha 54 gets right behind K-Dop. That's the easiest place to read the bounce from, and when you're going up against a stationary defender in that position, you're always going to come out on top.
Good clear though from Archie. He's got Cassio downfield. Very difficult to redirect that into a playable position though for his team. 50 seconds left here. Team Vitality on the verge of match point. Over to Flame. Oh, that's a boomer, and K-Dop has to just dive across and hope for the best, and he got there just in time.
Yeah, that's a fantastic save, honestly, because that shot could not have been hit any faster. And it's not like the shot was all that telegraphed as well.
It's the same as Alpha's earlier on.
Yeah, it was you know, a pretty quick shot after the pass was sent towards it. So really no stalling there from Top Blokes. K-Dop, just perfect positioning, had the entire goal covered. Now just a few more seconds, and Vitality are going to have 3 match points. It's been a better fight from Top Blokes here, but Vitality have responded in kind. And it's Top Blokes in the back foot in the closing seconds.
Archie wants the infield pass. K-Dop's got it. One player to get the ball, another player to wipe out the car. Team Vitality with 3 match points.
Yeah, great stuff there from Vitality, fighting back from behind. Top Blokes hit them early, and you know, it really Flame's second goal there. Phenomenal stuff. That's you know, about the best first touch you're going to see all day. But Vitality aren't afraid to play aggressively when they're behind. They get everybody into attack. They commit the entire team to try and get goals. And when they were given opportunities, they took them. They were confident, and that's something that Top Blokes can't really say about their play today. It's been a bit more sporadic. So again, Vitality appear to be just a bit too good for Top Blokes. But we all know Top Blokes can play better than this. They have played better than this. And if they can just find that form, this isn't over just yet. We saw them come back from behind 2 games down to a level situation yesterday against Dignitas. They have to do it here or their tournament is over.
Absolutely so. And you got to remember, teams like Dignitas are going to start creeping up on them in that points tally. So important. With this, Team Vitality can really start breaking away, securing that second spot for themselves. Flame takes it. But as always, Team Vitality doing such a good job of tracking where the pass is supposed to go. Get the car in the way in the perfect time. Alpha caught into action there off the backboard. Here's Flame for the double tap. And that's the reason why we haven't quite liked these double tap plays so far. They're just so quick on Vitality's side at getting players back into the right position. Top corner from Fairy Peak. Flame and Cassio needed to get rid of it.
Lovely back pass from K-Dop there. Straight at Alpha, no mix-up, like Galaxy Racer yesterday. Yeah, like you said, it's just taking a bit too long for Top Bloke shots to land. Oh, that was a huge bump. Flame had no idea that one was coming, and now it's Vitality who is scoring. They're the first to react in the chaos. And once again, they are 1-0 ahead. I think right now, yeah, Archie just didn't realize how desperate the situation was. He's the only man back there. One teammate demoed, one of them's already been bumped out of the game, and he just didn't realize that he needed to stall by himself.
So once again, Vitality in the lead. K-Dop with an opportunity here to make it up to 2. Here's Alpha. And there's K-Dop once again, looking to take another one. And Top Blokes were just sleeping on their own goal side of the field.
Yeah, it's just another one of those plays where they've got everybody in the corner, nobody's covered in the net. It's just a lack of focus there. It was Archie who was at the back post there, and he did not keep an eye on the threat from K-Dop. All he was thinking of is, right, okay, how do we get this into attack? How do we start scoring? Because that's how we're going to win this series. But you can't be thinking like that when K-Dop's still got another play on the ball. You've got to have the goal covered there, and they've failed to do that so many times today. It's unfortunate for Top Blokes. They've got to do it again from behind. I mean, they did it in game number 3. But, will Vitality let them come back like that again? I don't think so.
K-Dop, the best touch from him. It's very peak to help him out. And there is Alpha, as always. Just individual play. Slices through the entire team. 3-0. Team Vitality looking to make short work of Top Blokes.
Yeah, once again, it's just all too easy for Vitality. Alpha basically walks the ball into the goal because everyone in Top Blokes, all 3 players, the only thing they're thinking of is, okay, how do we start attacking? How do we turn this into a chance for us to score? They're not realizing all the threats that Vitality are posing. Okay, they've got one back. Again, it's not the prettiest goal, but it doesn't matter. If you're going to get a comeback from 3 goals down, you have to take every single chance you're going to get. Fairy Peak misses. Cassio's able to slot to bottom corner. Alpha's not able to cover.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are looking at that time left, thinking 3:13, that's plenty of time, but this is Vitality, and we know that they are fully capable of just slowing the pace down, giving you much less chances than you would initially get. Talking about that, we also know that Vitality are perfectly capable of completely disrespecting you and deciding, hey, we want to score 8 more. The backboard, Cassio looks for the net, and well played this time. They used Archie to try and wipe out the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, there was 2 more heads there. Unfortunately, the Hydra would not be slain.
Still a long time left in this game for Top Blokes, and they've just got to stay calm here. They've got to, stop overcommitting. If they overcommit again and concede one more time, it becomes so much more difficult to get the comeback win. And here come Vitality. K-Dop denied by the crossbar. Cassio has to block Alpha's shot, and he does. That's crucial. Every one of these goals, every one of these plays in this comeback for Top Blokes has to start off with solid defense. They can't give Vitality anything else for free.
Archie not going to be able to make that. Has to bring in Cassio instead. Still not much of a setup and drop down to Fairy Peak. 2 minutes left now. Still 2 goals needed for Top Blokes. And they cannot afford to concede another one. Archie, look for the self-pass. To Alpha one more time. Probably the most frustrating player to go against in this sort of position. Look for the low challenge. Flame will at least be able to cover that. But Vitality have managed to just lock down this side of the field. Off the backboard, Fairy Peak won't be following it. Since I mentioned 2 minutes left, we have not even been in the orange side of the field. We've got a full 30 seconds down. It was 30 seconds that they needed, but right now this can't afford to go in. K-Dop looks to make it so. This is unrelenting from Vitality. You get the feeling it just has to be a matter of time, but they might have finally run out of boost. Back pass to K-Dop. Well, we finally got to see the orange side of the field. That was really nice. Vitality just decimating Top Blokes. And when Top Blokes really want to be taking back control of this game, instead they're down to a single minute. They haven't even created a chance, let alone scored a goal in the last 2. Fairy Peak gets rid. Back over to Archie. Just try and put the team on his back, but K-Dop with the pre-jump. And Flame just too far forward. Is this to finish the series? Yes, it is! Alphas gets his hat trick. And Team Vitality with a statement in this match.
Oh dear, Top Blokes. Just not doing themselves any favors here. I mean, Vitality have started to play very, very well at the end of this game. Like you said, it's just all been blue side of the field, and Top Blokes have been hanging on to a 2-goal deficit, hoping that Vitality aren't going to send them another goal to work with. But right now, Flames just jumped past the ball. He's not even giving himself, any chance of stopping Alpha there. Leaves Cassio in a 1v1. And again, Cassio just backs off and hopes that Alpha's going to miss. Vitality aren't going to miss these opportunities. They've been clinical today. They've been far too good for Top Blokes. And, to be honest, Top Blokes, they've got to go completely back to the drawing board here, because whether it's on the field, whether it's off the field, whether it's the mechanics, whether it's the mentality, something is drastically wrong with this team, who are such a force to be reckoned with earlier in the year, or in last year, I should say. Is if they can't fix it, they are going to have problems. The competition is improving around them. They need to improve as well, and the first step is to just get back to where they were before.
I think that's a fantastic point, because we've seen not only teams improve internally, but other teams that use that time between fall and winter to get a new roster move in, start to improve that player. Heck, we've got a couple that are already involved today. Dignitas over in that upper side of the bracket. We've got Guild still in this as well. There are teams that are going to start challenging them right here. This could have been a big win for them to try and separate themselves from that pack. Instead, Vitality take it. They put themselves another 80 points up at least on top Blokes. They look like they're going to be uncatchable for them for the rest of the season. And it's now for Vitality to now look beyond and start focusing on what is next. Later on today, they've got Oxygen or Guild, a match that they should be going into as major favorites, Johnny.
Yeah, I think so. You know, Vitality didn't play the absolutely cleanest series here, but they did what they had to do and they got a comfortable win in the end. You know, most of Top Blokes goals actually came from unforced errors from Vitality, though. If they can clean up those, you know, mistakes, which is sometimes easier said than done, yeah, I think that they're going to be the, like you said, heavy favorites in the next round. Yeah, Vitality have been known to play to the level of their opponents on occasion, so I wouldn't be too worried. I think maybe it was just a bit of a chaotic series all around for both teams here.
Well, we are going to be able to find out what level of opponents they're going to get in the next round. As when we come back from break, it is going to be Guild against Oxygen, best of 7 in the lower bracket.